Welcome to Mental Health in Sweat, a conversation we were never supposed to have, but must. This is where we talk openly about hyperhidrosis, body odor, anxiety, relationships, confidence, and the mental weight of living in a body you can't control. No shame, no silence, just truth, solutions, and community. This is Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya, and we're done whispering.
Sweat doesn't just soak clothes. It soaks self-esteem. Feeling unattractive or undesirable, avoiding fashion, photos, touch, questioning masculinity, femininity, and worth. These are some of the things which I know you grapple with. The feeling unattractive or undesirable. I mean, with sweat issues or with bromhidrosis, body odor or fish odor syndrome or any of the sweat-related issues, most of the time it becomes hard for you to be relatable to people or to even have a relationship. Why? Because you're constantly thinking about the other person, your significant other. Are they going to accept you? Do they desire you? Are you attractive to them even with your issue? Now, for those of you who are married or in a relationship, their chances are you talked to your significant other about it and they accepted you. However, there are those who haven't done that talk. And so you're constantly living on eggshells. Whenever you have an argument, you will always conclude that the reason why we're having these differences is because of your sweat issue. The reason why we're having this argument is because of my bromhidrosis or, my body odor issues. And that could be far from the truth. This is why having a conversation is way imperative. Get to know that other person, your significant other. What's their view of your sweat issue? They don't understand that what you have is a medical condition. So if they are unaware of you having this medical condition, then how would you want them? How are they going to approach you when they're in the dark? They don't understand. You see, there's one thing to have a conversation with your significant other and they become overly disrespectful or disrespectful towards you with the truth. They know that you have this sweat issue and they use it against you. That is way different compared to individuals who have never had that conversation. We always insist here at HAK, talk to your significant other about your sweat issue because they're supposed to be your number one source of support. The moment they understand that you have a sweat issue, they will even go an extra mile of doing research, of even trying to find solutions that can help you regain your confidence. And what happens when you receive support from your significant other? You feel desired, you feel attractive, you start regaining your self-esteem. And this takes us to the initial statement we made in our first episode where you must accept yourself. Accept you have a condition. Accept that you have a medical condition that is beyond your control. Then the next thing is try and find possible, practical, sustainable solutions to help you deal with your sweat issue. And so for individuals with hyperhidrosis or any of the sweat issues, when they receive support, they feel desired, they feel attractive. How about individuals who are not in a relationship? Now, this is more personal because now you don't see yourself as an attractive person. You don't see yourself as desirable. Why? Because of the constant, chronic stress, the emotional toll. Why was I born this way? Why am I the one having these sweat issues? You're constantly trying to question instead of finding a solution. And so the key thing is to find solutions. Discuss your issue openly with people who understand the medical condition that you have. And sometimes this is what I do, because we've all dealt with self-esteem issues before. You see, by having sweat issues does not exempt you from being human. We live in a world of choice and preference. If you look at the ladies, women prefer tall men. I've never seen a woman who desires a short man. And for short men, they really like have to work extremely hard to get a woman's attention. And there are those who are going to disagree with me and tell me it's all about having this and that. If you must have specific things for a woman to find you attractive, then that woman doesn't find you attractive. You know, if a woman's preference is a tall man, it doesn't matter if that man works or that man doesn't work. They will go for the preference. You know? But I'm not saying all women. Every woman has their own preference, but I've never seen a woman say that they want a short dude. I've never seen it. I myself am not tall. Yeah, for those who have seen me. And when we meet in person, you get very, or rather you're surprised. I thought you're tall. I saw you on TV and this. No, I'm not. I'm not. I had to accept a long time ago that I'm never ever going to grow taller than my current height. I accepted. And it is through that acceptance that I was able to put a lot of things at bay. I don't like really have esteem issues when it comes to height because of that acceptance. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But one thing I know is the decision I made. I looked at myself and I made a conscious decision. Number one, my height is already determined. There's nothing I can do about my height. However, I cannot be short, broke, and unattractive. Siwezi kuwa hizo vitu tatu. I have to pick a struggle. That was the main decision. Pick a struggle. One is already determined. So hizi zingine ni mimi. I have to work. The rest, I can work on it and become successful. And remember, success si pesa peke yake. Success, you look at every facet of your life. I work out. You know, I've been on this. It's been part of my discipline for 8 going to 9 years. It should be 8 years, from October 30th, 2017, all the way to 2026. I work out. I take care of myself. I reward myself. By rewarding, I buy myself what I want. I can save up for it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. But I reward myself. I do it for me. I don't sit down and wait for people to do stuff for me. Attractiveness is not just only the appearance, which is important. Take care of your external appearance. You know, look neat, presentable. And fellas, please, You people are missing out. You don't know the power of wearing a fragrance. Get yourself a very good fragrance. Have different variations. You'll be very surprised what a fragrance does. It leaves a lasting impression. So invest in one. Get one. Make such decisions. You see, you cannot... Mimi swa kila mtu. That's the thing. Mimi swa kila mtu. I'm not for everyone. Right? But that does not mean that if women don't like short men, does that mean that I'm not valuable? Does that mean that my life is doomed, that I have no contribution, zero contribution to this life? No. You have to redirect, and shift your focus to your purpose. And for purpose to be successful, you have to put yourself first. See, before everything and anything else, you are a man first. So you have to put yourself first. Hold yourself accountable. Look at all these things and deal with them head first. Don't run away from your problems. And the same goes to women. I always ask, whenever I'm having discussions with women on mental health issues, especially on body image and identity, most of them, they may feel unattractive. And the attractiveness is the physical attractiveness, physical attraction. What is it that they don't like about themselves? And if they mention something that cannot be altered or changed, then I always redirect them to what they can change. Maybe you're a bit on, overweight. You can always work out and change your diet, and you will see the difference. Maybe you don't like the way you look. What is that thing that you don't like? And after we have this conversation, most of them, they get a different perspective that most probably they were not aware of, or they only approached their issue from a one-sided angle, not multiple angles. This is why it's important. Always talk to someone, get a different opinion, a different voice of reason. Avoiding fashion, photos, and touch. Yeah, I know most of you are avoiding fashion. You don't want to dress properly. You don't want to buy yourself good clothes because you believe they are only meant for specific people, or you feel like you're not worthy of it. You don't take photos of yourself. I mean, how else are you what memories are you going to leave? What memories of you are you going to have when you grow old? When you're in your 90s, Zuko? If you go to your social media, what are you going to look? Uangalie pale useme, this is my book of memory. Your book of memory inakaje? Taking photos is not just selfies. Taking photos is going to different places. Travel, go. Before you start traveling to the US and Europe, just start with East African countries. Start with the African continent. Travel. Go to these places. Create your own photo book of memories. Then there is touch. Most of us are yearning to be touched. I'm not talking about sex here. I'm talking about being touched, being caressed, being held. Questioning your masculinity. Nowadays we have people online, and by the way, let me say this. Alpha men are not on YouTube. No. And any person you see online telling you that this is how a man is supposed to be, listen, no one has life figured out. No one. So if I call myself a dating coach, I am not. If I call myself a life coach, how can I be a life coach yet I'm still figuring out my own life? No one has life figured out. So when you're listening to all these guys who are online, see what you can learn, but don't follow people blindly. Make your own decisions. Same thing with the women. Don't just be listening to anyone online here telling you that if you do this, this is your femininity worth. No. See what you can learn, but at the end of the day, make your own decision. You determine your own worth as a man and as a woman. You determine your own worth. So it's all up to you. So what are the mental health impact? There is the low self-worth. And I'm talking of mental health impact in relation to confidence, body image, and identity. So there is the low self-worth, where you feel like you're not good enough. Yeah, you compare yourself, you look at your friends, you look at other people and you see they have it all. They have the body, they have everything. Listen, even those who you think they have it all, they still, in fact, the most attractive people have one of the worst self-esteem issues. The most attractive people have the worst self-esteem. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds very backward and gibberish. And bollocks. I know it sounds bollocks when I said this, but it's true. The most attractive people have some of the worst self-esteem issues. So don't look at someone, for the ladies, don't look at your friend who's so beautiful and light-skinned and getting all the attention and you think they have it all. No. Mnajua mnanishangaza sana, most of you. You hate on your friends or on other people because you think they have it all. No, they don't. Most people, when they go home, this is why, if there is one thing that separates most of us, is solitude. Most people fear being by themselves because that is where now you begin to learn the true you. You begin to learn things about yourself. That's why most people don't want to be alone. You always want people around, in and out of the house. Because being alone, you know what it does. You start learning a thing or two about yourself, which you've been running away. Stop comparing yourself to others and look at yourself and look at what is already determined that you can't change, and then look at what you can change. Maybe it's your communication skills. Maybe you don't know how to communicate effectively. Maybe it's how you dress. Because even how you dress sends a different message. You can change your dressing. You can start learning how to communicate effectively. You determine your worth at the end of the day. There is withdrawal. When you have confidence issues, you withdraw yourself because you've already made a decision that I'm unattractive, I'm undesirable, so I'm going to stay away. I'm going to keep off. Depressive thoughts. I think I've already covered that. So this ends up taking a toll on your mental health. So what can you do? Reframe. Your body is not failing you. Your condition is not your identity. Let me repeat that again. You must reframe. And when you reframe, your body is not failing you. Your condition is not your identity. Action step. Stop comparing yourself to people without the condition. So any person who doesn't have hyperhidrosis or any of the sweat issues, stop comparing yourselves to them. Build confidence around management and not perfection. This one, if I can print a billboard, I will. Build confidence around management or management. Build confidence around management and not perfection. Stop chasing permanent solution and healing. No. Build your confidence around management. As I close, you are more than what your body does.
If this episode spoke to you, know this: you are not broken, you are not alone, and help exists. Sweat disorders affect the body, but they don't define your worth. Follow Hyperhidrosis Awareness Kenya, share this conversation, and reach out when you need support. We see you, we hear you, and this journey doesn't end here.